D-Trend has a fundamental misunderstanding as to how training works. So I made...
Alright, this video is for fat people. If you're not fat, keep scrolling. Listen guys, 400 pounder here that lost a whole bunch of weight, and this is how I look like today. How I did it, listen, you keep hearing high intensity, high volume, low volume, high weight, going to failure. Listen, it doesn't matter. As long as you're going to failure, but you're not going to be burning fat when you're doing that. And that's the key thing that I think none of these people talk about, because all their fan bases are like little skinny dudes in high school. And nothing against that, or nothing, like, I'm not talking crap about them. I'm just saying they're not talking about fat people like how we were. When you're fat, the only thing that's going to burn fat is doing cardio at a conversational pace. Meaning cardio where at a pace that you can still talk at. And you guys think I'm kidding, 1 to 1.5 hours of that a day while doing your weight training. That's going to help you gain muscle, gain mass, lessen the loose skin and all that kind of stuff. And as far as all their stuff they're talking about, don't worry about that until you get to a body fat percentage that is down to like 10%, which is going to take years. And then you can start kind of talking about how these guys are talking. But
low intensity cardio, let's talk about it. First of all, he's wrong, but now let's dive in. What he's referring to is your metabolic ratio that is going to allow for you to go from burning glycogen versus fat oxidation for energy. Fat oxidation would be if you're under 1 metabolic unit. The way that we find that out is through doing a VO2 max test. Now, many of you are not going to go and do a VO2 max test to make sure that the intensity of whatever form of cardio that you're doing stays under 1 metabolic unit. And you shouldn't have to. This is very, very inefficient. The amount of fat that you actually will be burning in comparison to the dietary compensation is minuscule. If you are not tracking your calories, you are not going to lose fat doing this, because you will compensate for the calories that you do burn. The same exact concept is why fasted cardio doesn't really do a whole lot. There is only one way to lose weight, and that is a consistent calorie deficit. The cardio that you add in, this time in the sauna that you add in, the time spent walking outdoors, counting your steps, all of that stuff is irrelevant if you are not staying consistent with your diet. That all said, every single time that you move, you're going to burn more calories. So that concept is true, but there's the compensation value of your diet that you have to be watching. If you're not staying consistent, you will compensate. And then he goes to talk about how he lost all that weight. Well, the man takes PEDs too, so keep that in mind, guys. Synthetic hormones are a huge, huge help. So all of that said, you need to be in a consistent calorie deficit to lose weight. Everything else that you add to it will help to keep you in a deficit. The cardio, the exercise, the steps, it all does add to the amount of calories that you burn each day. And if you're staying consistent with your diet, then you have the stacking value of those activities. But if you are not sticking to a consistent diet, you are not going to get that stacked value of activity for your calorie burn. And it all boils down to the fact that you will compensate in your eating at some point. So to get started on your fitness journey, absolutely get moving. But then you have to practice diet consistency. So move first, make that a habit. Then consistency in your diet, make that a habit. And then you can start dialing your diet down according to your goals, according to your progress. If you're not seeing progress that you want to see, take the calories down lower. You now have a consistent diet, so you now know what you can pull out of your diet. And continue that trend until you get to where you want to be.